Hi students, welcome all. Today we are going to see another separation method, sedimentation, decantation, filtration through an experiment which I am going to explain now, and also we are going to see about food adulteration. Now let me start explaining the experiment. Now I am taking a muddy water inside a beaker. This muddy water is a mixture of very fine soil particles in a water. So in muddy water there is a soil which is a mud and also a water. Now I am keeping the beaker undisturbed for some time. As it is I am keeping. I am not shaking the beaker. I am not stirring it. I am keeping as it is. So what happens after some time is this mud, that is the soil which is heavier than the water, will start to settle at the bottom of the beaker and form a sediment. And the top layer will be of water, and this is called a supernatant liquid. And this process of settling down of the heavier component mud, and this process is called a sedimentation. Sedimentation, it is a process of settling down of the heavier components from a mixture when allowed to remain undisturbed for some time. So after sedimentation process, now we are transferring this water, pouring this water into another beaker without disturbing this sediment which is at the bottom of the beaker. And this process of transferring the water is known as decantation. Decantation is a process of removal of water which forms above the sediment is known as decantation. This water is called as decantate. But still this water is not clear. It has a very fine soil particles in it. Now we have to remove this very fine soil particles. In order to remove this fine soil particles from the water, now we are going to do a filtration. For filtration, we need a filter paper. Filter paper has a very fine pores in it. It will allow only a water to pass through it, and it won't allow a soil particles. அதாவது சாயில், அதாவது மண் வந்து தண்ணியோட தண்ணியாக போயிடாது. ஃபில்டர் பேப்பர் மேலேயே வந்து அந்த சாயில்லாம் தங்கிடும். Now I am taking a beaker and I am keeping a funnel above it. Now I am folding the filter paper in a cone form and I am placing it in a funnel. Now I am pouring this unclear water. So what happens is the water passes through the filter paper and the soil particles will remain in this filter paper. The water which passes through the filter paper is called a filtrate, and the soil which settles in the filter paper is called a residue. And this process is called filtration. It is a method of separating insoluble component like sand, mud from a mixture using a filter paper. Okay, now we have seen a sedimentation, decantation and filtration using a simple experiment. Okay, now we can see about food adulteration. Food adulteration means things what we buy in market are mixed with a harmful and unwanted substance. Harmful, it will surely cause a health hazard to us. Now let us see an example and understand this. This is a turmeric powder which is a homemade. அதாவது மஞ்சள் கிழங்க காய வச்சு அரைச்ச இது மஞ்சள் பொடி. But this is a packed turmeric powder which I am getting from a market. The color of this is so bright than this. Here they are using a bright yellow chemicals. They are mixing this chemical with this turmeric powder to look very bright. But when we consume daily, slowly it will cause a poisonous to our health and body. So start using a homemade turmeric powder. This is a tea powder where I am getting from a known friend. This tea powder, which is a packed one, which I am getting from a market. The taste of this is so bad and dull than this. Why? Because here every day they are using a fresh tea leaves to prepare a tea powder, but here they are using a already used tea leaves to make a tea powder. So the taste of this is so dull. So start using a tea powder from a known one. This is a coffee powder which I am getting from a known friend. Here this coffee powder which I am getting from a market, it is in a packed one, and here they are using a tamarind seed powder. அதாவது புளியோட கொட்டையை வந்து அரைச்சி பவுடர் பண்ணி இந்த காஃபி பவுடரோடு மிக்ஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க. அப்போ நமக்கு வித்தியாசம் தெரியாமல் போயிடும். பட் இது நம்ம தினமும் கன்சியூம் பண்ண என்ன ஆகும் அப்படின்னா, இட் வில் காஸ் அ டயரியா டு அஸ், லூஸ் மோஷன் ஆகும். ஸோ சூஸ் யுவர் ப்ராடக்ட் கரெக்ட்லி. This used tea leaves is an unwanted substance, but this bright yellow chemicals and tamarind seed powder is a harmful one. It causes a health problem to us. So start using masala items or some other thing from a homemade. Eat better one and stay well. This chapter ends here. I hope you understand the concept today well. In next video we can see another new chapter. Thank you for watching.